All right, here's some of my fears. The clients will think this is too easy. Do you guys remember the days where we used to send returns off to service bureaus? Raise your hands if you remember that. Okay. Now I want you to think about that for a minute. The clients would come in, we'd extract the data from the clients, we'd fill out these really complicated forms, we'd ship it to a service bureau, they'd ship it back, and what would happen? It'd be wrong, right? We'd miss the box, or we checked the box that we shouldn't have checked, or some crazy nonsense like that, right? So then we'd fix it and send it back to the service bureau. So in about 3 weeks, we had a pretty good return for a client. Isn't that truthful, the kind of things that happened back then? All right. Then we brought the computers in-house. Do you guys remember those days? And the tax return was done almost at the same time the client was leaving our office. And what did we tell our staff? Don't tell him! Don't tell him! In fact, what was our number one rule the first year or two that we were doing it in-house? Wait 3 weeks. Or, in my case, it was take those returns and stack them up on the shelf. And you got to wait 5 days before you mail them because they got to think we worked really hard on these things. Don't you guys remember that? They thought it was too easy. That was my big fear. They're going to think it's too easy. I just push a button. Now, I have a client who's a marketing genius, and he came into my office, this was many years ago. He said, Nick, all you do is push buttons. Your returns are way too expensive. It's too easy what you do. So I picked up the keyboard and turned it around and handed it to him, put it right in front of him, and I said, I tell you what, this is the best software in the world. I use Lacerte. I know any software you're using is the best software in the world, right? And I said, this has got all the bells and whistles. If you do the return, it's free. He said, that's not fair. I said, why not? He says, because you know the tax law. I said, good. As long as you know why you're here, we can go forward. But this was a big issue. This is also an issue that I think holds some of us back still. Because a lot of my clients will pick up that return either that afternoon, on their way out the door, or it will be mailed that evening to them. That's how fast we process. And you know what the client thinks? The client doesn't think it's too easy. The client goes, wow, did he work hard on my stuff? I'm so impressed he put me on the front of the line because this came out fast. They start bragging about how fast the stuff comes out.